But listen, I have to get my calories up. I haven't been eating at all, so. Everyone's like, oh my god, you lost weight. And it's like, yeah, because I'm literally...
That was 100% me when I, like, moved, whenever I would come home from New Jersey. Everybody'd be like, oh my gosh, you lost so much weight. What's your secret? And I'm like, well, I don't have time to drink, and I'm literally so poor that sometimes I just, like, have chips and cheese for dinner.
That's exactly what my breakfast is. My dinner.
Alright, until you're eating ice cube and bread sandwiches, you're doing alright.
Yeah.
They're so good. If you can afford a single package of Kool-Aid, perfect.
Most of the time, it wasn't even that I was, like, that poor. It was just that I lived in a food desert, and so I was always too tired to walk to a grocery store because it took, like, 20 minutes.
Desert?
Okay, I have no excuse because the supermarket is, like, right next door, and a McDonald's is, like, around the corner. But here is the thing. I still have to buy groceries and then cook them, and that's, like, a whole thing I have to do. Like,
damn, I want to make pasta.
Get dressed, go out, buy shit, come back home, get dressed in your pajamas, and then cook something. And, like, cooking is a whole nother step. And then having to eat, and then having to make, like, your dishes clean again. Just to repeat that process. It's like, if I buy 3 packages of chips, I can live off of that for, like, a week. You know? Like, do you see the difference?
Sounds like adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am breaking out. I have horrible acne.
free!
So that's not cool. But that's also because I haven't been washing my makeup off properly. Because I don't have enough money for my soap.
Story of my life.
I just moved out, y'all. It's been
Get
like
some bleach. Use a crap. You only gotta clean it once.
Yeah, listen. I'm single. I have my own apartment and a job. I can be. So I'm gonna eat my ice cream and live off of chips for the rest of my life. That's gonna end at like 30.
Well, you are free to do so.
Happy life, not a long life.
No, it's not gonna be long. It's gonna be like ending at 28.
Wait.
Oh, yep, Crash is here. Is that just
I've been here.
He's just been letting us
okay.
chat.
Yeah, you've just been listening to me.
Important question, Crash. Is there a Zodiac in this universe?
What do you mean?
Like the killer or the constellation?
I was even like this.
Like,
So-
is there a, like...
Do we have a Ted Cruz
Well, I'm
here?
born under the year of the ox or sort of? No.
No.
yeah, or like, if you're born in like, oh, I can't remember the month names,
October,
and I'm
it's
away from my
Libra.
computer.
If you're like in January, is it like you're a Capricorn, you're an
No.
Aquarius?
Capricorn.
Because
No.
here's the thing.
Born to be lawful.
Because here's the thing. Kiers is definitely a Pisces, and they're definitely born on March 14th because it's like 1 month after Valentine's Day, and that's just like a sweet thing, you know. So like that's definitely.
I mean, none of these dates you're saying exist in this universe.
I'm pretty sure there's like a month of pudding, which sounds like pudding, which is an amazing
Well, first
birthday.
like budding, not bud, like spring buds.
Oh, I really took
I
that.
think a lot of the times y'all forget that English isn't Dragana's first language, and you really roast her for
Fair.
knowing things that she
Actually,
would have no
that is a
reason
good
to know.
point.
I was just like, oh, pudding with a B. That's funny, and then it's no.
Well, it's more a line of like, why would you think I would name it such?
That's what I would do.
You're not me.
Here's name is literally the word for candle in German, pronounced in an English way. Like, I don't
That's
think.
cute.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. Considering how I had to make the Nevros language, I combined 3 separate languages to make a single word. No, I don't. No.
Yeah, that's fair. But you forget I only have my own thinking process, which includes.
Well, you should. That's the reason I always tell you guys stuff after sessions, in between sessions, so you guys can get a grasp on my
Yeah,
mind.
totally. I
Can
just.
you tell us where Preston tells?
So, let's get back into it.
Speaking of Preston.
We're all here, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fred just types it. Yep. So, you guys are meeting up outside of the Gilios estate. Not that he's actually told you his last name, but whatever. Preston's estate.
Dick moved on this.
So you guys pull up the your cart, your wagon, your caravan, or whatever the hell you call it. I don't know. Just when you guys just go knock on the door.
I mean, if they haven't knocked on the door by the time I get there, then
Yeah, no.
it's-
Well, no,
Marshall should
the thing is, like,
definitely-
they're riding by like cart and you're walking. So, like, in technicality, like, they would catch up to you because he doesn't live like 5 minutes away.
He lives a bit.
Yeah, it is a bit away.
I mean, if anyone should be knocking on his door, it should probably be Marshall.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that the whole group is present for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Marshall, you. I don't know. Maybe they're pulling up as you're getting there, so you did beat them there.
I mean,
So,
I think we're taking a lot of metagame knowledge to assume I would know how to get there.
Oh shit, that's a
We
good
just
point.
find you like 3 streets away.
Should he roll survival to not get lost?
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, roll survival to see if you got lost on the way there.
Can
Well,
I
Look at that
I'll
imagine
give you
like,
advantage on this.
I imagine a western scene of like, him just walking to the sunset, knowing where he's going, and then just going to completely
I mean,
wrong
it'd be really
direction.
hard to walk away into the sunset when it's like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, but it would
I
be
get what
fun.
you're saying.
It's good at comparison.
You managed to find your way. You managed to find your way. If I would talk, you do accidentally take a step into an alleyway for a little bit, and then it tells like this doesn't seem right, and then you're like, you're right, and then you come back out, and it's like, oh, there you go.
What are we again?
Where are we going? The Beak House.
The beak house, Marshall. The beak. Never mind. So yeah, so you're turning into like the fence, or not fence. Well, it is fence, but through the gateway that leads to Preston's estate as the cart pulls up, and everyone's like, "Oh, there you are." And then you go knock on the door. Just use the door knocker. And then like the servant looks at you. Like opens the door ajar, looks at you, closes it immediately.
Yeah, I knock again.
There's gonna be a dent in that door.
Like a few moments later, you hear from on the other side of the door. It's Preston. Well, I'll just say it. Obviously, I've told you once. I've told you twice. On this shall be thrice. I do not know any more information. And he opens up the door about. Oh, thank the gods, Militides. And he like sees you, and he looks past you at like the group behind you. Take your wagon around back. Open up the side door.
Of course, Master Press.
Hurry before those pestering slayers come back. I'll meet you over there. Close the door. I know you like signal to the group or something. They like go that way. Like I
Yeah.
know.
I would act like it's incredibly urgent. Like, hurry, before the slaves get here. We have to be quick.
I panic.
Is this a serious thing? Okay, well, okay.
So much. So yeah, you guys like
Tokyo drift the cart.
okay. It's not like you guys were just like
I'm kidding. Go
sprinting
ahead.
with this cart. They bring around past his forge down like this like little stretch of just empty roadage essentially. Brings around, pull into the stables, and then Preston opens the door and comes out. Come inside, please.
Of course. Set down the wood outside the door and come out. Wait, is it into his forge? Or into
No,
his
into his estate, not into the forge.
Okay, yeah, I'd put it on the side of the door.
Yeah, he wants some privacy. So yeah, you guys come in, and it's sort of like this gallery room, so to speak. But it's not art that he's presented here. It's weapons and armor.
Ooh.
Immensely ornate stuff. Very like golded or gilded decoration and trimming. A lot of encrusted jewels on some of these pieces. This place is ritzy.
Like the generic thing where someone goes to New York for the first time and sees all the lights.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, and they look around and they're like,
Pickpocket takes her wallet.
no, that's the dark fantasy movies there. Is that what Marshall does? Just like, ooh. Yeah, so you guys all come inside, and then he's just like, follow me into the foot, and he stops and sees you. We can discuss things here, if you wish. And he comes up to you.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
You get to surprisingly warm, because you guys met Preston only once, and he's sort of a bit of a twat, as Mira would remark. But he gets like a surprising warm smile and says, I'll be sure to detail everything for you later. But we have more urgent matters right now. I see you've brought me the supplies for your weapon. Yes?
Yes, and some
What did
as
you-
well.
What did you end up bringing?
I'm gonna show him all the stuff we got.
Yeah, so you like open up a curtain, like just to like talk about the ironwood, talk about the dark steel. Dark steel. Very interesting. I thought you were in hoping in pursuit of adamantine, but dark steel shall work as well.
I think, given the head this is meant to cleave from the shoulders, dark steel is the proper material.
He moves to say something, but he stops. You face fellow beings, surely.
Indeed we do, Master.
And the wood. Iron wood, you say?
Yes, we had a interesting adventure along the way.
Perhaps you might tell it to me while we work the bellows. We'll have quite some time then.
Indeed. Oh, also, and I pull out the hammer that I got blessed.
What is this?
This as well.
Son of a bitch! I forgot to give Connor the dagger. That was Connor.
Well, Connor was in the safe house.
Well, she could have
Connor
left
was in
it.
it. He takes it. And what do we have? Rather simple creation. And like, he takes it and pulls it. And it's like watching like a superhero movie or like an anime or something. like a surge goes through the person as they touch something. Like it happens to him. And it's like, and he just lets go. And he looks down at it, like he's just staring at it and looks up at you. All the way up at you.
Master Preston, I assure you that this will be a very important project.
Quite important indeed.
I step forward and like kind of bow a little since he's calling him Master Preston and I haven't met this man really.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Master Preston. I wanted to ask if you could maybe give me some tips on how to craft armor.
Use like a peculiar look. I'm not taking apprentices right now. Or shall ever. He looks at Marshall and holds out a hand towards him. And it seems that you have a capable craftsman already to start you off.
Then I do a bow towards Marshall.
Of course, I will teach you all I know.
Now, we talked so much on the crafting itself, but in terms of the engagement and the deal, see, as we've discussed before, it will take quite the sum of coin for this craft to be done, as I'm sure you're well aware.
I am.
That being said, I find myself in a predicament.
Oh, and what is that?
He like looks away, like just off, gazing at like a like some crossed blade, like mantelpiece. What have you heard since coming back into town, Militides?
Mira was captured.
He looks like you cares. Yes.
It seems the Slayers are in more control than they were a few days ago.
Much so. I hold no ill will to the Slayers. Trust me, I am from the Twins. By heart. But he looks directly at you, Marshall. He sort of says this out. It's sort of like spitting out. It's like sort of like leaves like this bad taste in his mouth. I do not have so many friends in this town. So I'd like to keep the few that I do.
Nod. I believe that is our first order of business.
He gives a weird smile. Thank the gods. I will make your craft free of charge if you could secure Mira's freedom.
If our planned endeavor goes as planned, there should be no reason for Mira to be punished.
You say that, Mr. Magnus. You say that.
I say that, yes.
Any information how long until?
If the Slayers have their way before the end of the day, if the Seekers have their way, I don't know.
Which one do you think will have their way first?
I don't know,
Damn.
adventurer. I don't know.
Sorry.
But this... I assure you that plenty of people in this town, as well as outside of it, are very, very much looking to correct this mistake. And are siding with the Slayers as such. He pinches the bridge of his nose.
We will do our best.
I don't require your best. I require the right results.
We have a lead that should help her case. But if not, I will go into the spire myself and free her.
I'm behind him on that one.
I just look over with daggers in my eye at Chedamir.
Ooh.
To that, I promise.
Word is words. Talk is talk. I need action.
Now let's get into action. We have to make it to Davros as quick as possible.
First, we need to get word to the Seekers so that they may have further ammunition to protect her with.
That seems to be a wise first step.
That will
Yes.
buy us time to correct the sickness that plagues these lands. And once that's gone, they will know with certainty that Mira has nothing to do with it.
And perhaps we can leverage the plagues curing and her safety.
I'm no
Good thought.
adventurer. I will leave such adversive matters to people, and he gestures to all of you, who have the capability. He's like rubbing his eyes and like while pinching the bridge of his nose, and that's like smooth motion.
Perhaps we can convince the Seekers to release her into our custody. Take her along, fix the problem.
If she
Say
comes
that
back
she
alive,
fixed it?
she's good. Comes back dead, not their problem.
It sounds so crazy, but then I remember you got me out of. Let's do this.
If you need any assistance in the endeavor, feel free to come back. Oh. If I'm not around for whatever reason, speak to my head butler. By the name of Abram. He's out right now, but if I am not here, then he should be. Or vice versa.
I don't mean to put more of a load on you, but I believe Kares and I also had possible dealings.
They will be included in this fair trade of ours. If you save my friend, I will craft what you need. Provided I have the materials, of course. I'm no god.
Alright then.
Ah, yes, good point. Speaking of which, I will be right back. And I pull up my gem.
You walk out to the stable area, and during this time, like you walk while you're walking out, he just points at you, Aldrich. I have some designs in mind for you. They might be a bit peculiar, at least by provincial standards. I know something.
I am a peculiar man, so I'm sure they will fit perfectly.
A buckler that's light, which is already a task considering how light it is already designed. And I imagine you are fighting swords, so I decided to include some further offensive capabilities in mind, while not sacrificing defense. And it's at this point, Marshall, you close the door behind you, and you're out in the stables, and you have the Way Shaper gem. You see the Stardust Way Shaper's agent bird perched on your shoulder. Opens its beak. What is agent doing?
I need to speak to your master.
Then speak. And he looked at the gem.
No offense, but this is a task for him.
Very well.
I don't know, can I tap it? Wait. Shoot, I should have asked how to use this. Way Shaper?
Speak.
Way Shaper?
Speak.
I request an audience.
Already have. Speak. Unless wish private conversation.
That would probably be better.
Very well. Will warn. Brace stomach.
He's learning.
It feels like you're falling. This immense sense of vertigo. And then you're standing in the training yard for you and your master. There's no one here. The implements of training, like wooden swords, blunted blades, and stuff like that, training dummies are all there, but there's no one.
Right
Speak.
then. We are going to Davros either tonight or early tomorrow to accomplish your mission. I need something of you.
Request.
I need a small amount of your blood.
Silence.
Maybe explain why. I'm not there.
Agent requests peculiar and powerful item. Elaborate.
I am making a weapon to stop this fell invasion. And I need it to be as best as possible. I wish to use your blood as a quench for my blade.
It's like nighttime right now, and then like a shooting star is coming down, and it's like breaking, dissipating into this glitter, this bright light that just sort of dissipates in the atmosphere, and you see a robed figure. Just a simple black. No trimming, no fanciness or anything. And from the looks of it, as it moves, and any of its motions, it doesn't seem like any arms occupying the sleeves. So I guess more like a cloak with sleeves. But 2, no. 4, no. 6, now 5. What? This ever-shifting different, like some blink out and fade, some... It's like turning on lights. There's like some come into existence, some fade out. This ever-shifting amount of just glowing blue eyes, just sort of where the hood is. Is Agent capable of magic?
Not of the arcane variety. Or divine.
All of its eyes blink. Agent truly requests this.
I do. And I will see it put to great use.
Deal is deal. And it holds out, like from underneath, like where like a robe would like split in the middle. It holds out from under it, similar to the head that you saw earlier. There's just series of just like it's much more in the shape of an actual like hand. It actually muscle as opposed to like just a bunch of worms that are like woven together. Just dark gray with glowing speckles on it. And then he makes a fist, and then begins morphing into this, sort of like this like giant like pus sack, basically, just where his fist is. Like it begins like just filling, like his fist like loses its like actual like different finger shape and aspects of it, and then just sort of forms this giant ball. Quench weapon requires considerable amount of blood.
Indeed it does.
From the sands that make the ground of this memory training ground of sorts, begins slowly emerging this just metallic, a very long rectangular just container, just slowly emerging like this obelisk. But it's not taking any sand in the container itself. It just sort of props itself and forces it away. From the hood piece, where the head should be for any normal being, comes out this like barbed, sort of like stinger tendril, and then it just holds out its blood-filled sack of a hand over this rectangular container, and his blood is not normal blood as you might imagine. It's nowhere red. It's this inky darkness, this black abyss made fluid. Toss some glittery speckles in there. Boom. Pow. And you got yourself a dinner right there. Anyways, it comes out. Not like, despite its the appearance of Tarn's, like it's not terribly thick. It's thicker than like water and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily like oil. It's a bit more than that. So it's and despite all this flowing out from this like sack hand, it's not deflating or getting smaller. It just keeps going like a hose head. And at some point, you see like the, I guess, muscles, like is what the best way to describe them, tense on his right arm that's being held out, and then it deflates and then reforms into his hand, in which he retracts his whole arm back into the hood. Go. Brace stomach.
One last thing. Would you like Mr. Hughes dead or alive?
Alive. Memory intact.
The low bow. As you wish.
It's like quicksand sucking you into the ground, and you see that the container, like a little bit in front of the Stardust Wave Shaper's, this form of him, he has many, just getting sucked into the ground, and just it's like getting like dragged down by like a horse that's not there. You know, it's just and then you're back in the real world, and you're holding lidless, topside up, in between your two hands, the quench.
It never gets easier to do that. Go back inside.
I don't honestly know. To be perfectly honest, Dovros itself has always been out there. Oh, and the tidies. You look at that thing in your head. What is that?
I believe we are going to make your masterpiece weapon.
He begins walking over and looks like over this the square side of that forms this like rectangular, the top and bottom of this rectangular container is not terribly large. It's probably like I don't know, 8 inches on all sides, and then the entire container itself is probably like I don't know, like 5 feet tall. There's a lot of blood in here though, and yeah, it could definitely be poured out and stuff like that. But he just looks into it. What in the gods' name is that?
One god specifically, the Stardust Wayshaper. It is his blood. We will use it for the quench.
I'm sorry. You look at the rest of you.
I spit out my drink as you say that.
Yeah. Oh, in the course that Marshall was gone, like some tea was brought in by one of his servants, and then he was just discussing about your guys' adventure. Like, oh yes, Dovros. Well, you see, Dovros is, and then that's when Marshall came back. He wasn't gone long.
And he's just like, so yeah, the Wayshaper's blood. And I was like, pfft. When I said he's an asshole, I didn't mean kill him.
I imagine you spit that on Jennifer by accident and on purpose.
You just happen to be like pouring the tea at the same time on the opposite end of Karis as.
I will
I look
ignore
at
that. What?
Preston and I
blood?
give him a nod.
He sees like he said, Captain. I need you to be perfectly honest with me. Am I harboring heretics in my home right now?
Yes.
Yes?
Possibly.
Wait, which answer do you want to hear?
Probably no.
No.
I would like to think you just have friends at your house.
Wait, roll me persuasion, Marshall.
Can you get advantage because we're helping him?
I don't think we're helping.
Not really. You're not really helping him. Wow,
Solid,
that's
actually.
good.
Look, we're not like worshipping a fell god or something. It's more like a
Business
enemy of my
transaction.
yeah. It's an enemy of my enemy situation. The person that's making this disease, well, not making. They're helping us out for someone.
He holds out a hand.
What
He holds a hand
kilometers
above you. Let me... Give me a moment to gather my thoughts, please.
Understood. I will prep the material.
He doesn't say anything to that. He just...
Now to just go out, get the stuff ready at the forge.
You begin taking off the ironwood and securing it into its assorted. So basically, like long chests, so say, pulling out the dark steel ore that you yourself have, because I think everyone else is carrying them on their person, and begin like just sort of putting it away, squaring it off. Meanwhile, back inside, Preston is just like staring at one of his pieces, and just. And he sets it down on the little tea plate. His little teacup. I will not craft weapons for people I do not know their intention. I want to know this fell deal you have made.
Crash?
I would totally answer that, but I'm outside.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, so
What was the question? You cut out for me.
Oh.
What's
I
the
will
film?
not make weapons for people I do not understand. Tell me your intentions
We're going to
about this
kill
fell
it.
bargain.
A man named Aiden Hughes stole something from this deity. Our agreement.
Aiden
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
You know him?
Yes, certainly.
Don't tell me
How
he's
did-
your cousin.
I have no family left but my sister, I assure you.
Our arrangement is to secure Aiden Hughes, not kill him, so that he might return what he stole from this fell deity.
He stole an
exchange-
item from a fell deity.
Information?
Yes. Information,
He like,
yeah.
finishes off his tea at this. He goes over to the teapot and pours more. He begins piling on massive amounts of sugar cubes into it and stirs it.
I think
His
the whiskey
actions
can
is the
have-
reason you're plagued with this disease, this sickness.
Wait, what'd you say, Fred?
His actions is the reason you are being plagued by this disease, this sickness.
I find that very hard to believe,
Well,
but
someone's got to be responsible.
That's the beauty of truth. It doesn't matter what people believe, it's still the truth.
who decides that it's true or not? Do you know something that I don't? Does someone lie to you? So many factors.
Preston, sometimes you have to make the decision yourself. Can you live with the fact that you're helping provide us weapons to kill someone who might be responsible or hurt someone, I'm sorry, that might be responsible for killing other people?
You guys, you're quite certain that he's hurt other people, but
Well, that's what we have to decide. Do we believe him or do we don't? And
I
we
am
do.
certain.
what do you all know other than his name of Aiden Hughes?
Nothing.
I know him. How do you know him?
We don't?
He was named as the thief by the person he stole from.
I try not to fall in line these days, but others just decree. Largely in Portamira. Just thinking in silence. As I am thinking through his mind as to how he would respond to this.
If it helps, your weapons won't be done in time that to him. It won't be in any way part of this.
It is not that I'm concerned about. It's an implication. Make no mistake, I'm no friend of Aiden. I wouldn't if you were. He was an outcast. Like me.
You can believe in one thing. If all of this happened because of an act, I will not hurt him or let him be hurt. But if he did it on purpose, then he deserves what's ever coming to him.
It's so easy to lay such statements without knowing the truth. Those same things are damning me right now. I am but one man. I am but a noble son, head of the house now. I am not an adventurer. I am not
The
a
way I
cleric.
see it, we deal with this Aiden. In exchange, we are given certain favors. Among those, near safety. I consider that. I would consider that a fair bargain.
You know, I am just a bar maiden's dog kid. I mean, you know, not an
And yes,
adventure.
here you are, deciding the fate of my friend. Making fell bargains.
Yeah. Life gonna be that way sometimes. You're the friend of a seeker.
You just life be like that, him?
Yeah.
I will tell you, speaking in modern slang makes me like increase DCs and stuff. So
Oh, come on! It's such a real thing, though. It'll be like
it's
that.
a real thing, but there are other ways of saying it. Especially when those such phrases don't exist in the
To be fair,
world
she
in
did-
that way.
She did say it a bit differently.
I'm
said
just telling you
like-
guys this right now. I say those things as a joke, which means they're never said in game. But when you say it in character, I'm like, mm-hmm.
Got it.
This world is attempting to be immersive, so keep it that way.
To be fair, he laughed. I didn't. I meant it.
Yeah, but you were the impetus by which it started.
I'm gonna be honest, I laugh because that's hilarious. That is like this campaign in a nutshell.
Mm.
Life be
Like
like that
that?
sometimes.
Yeah.